Hello everyone, it's Mooman coming to another fantastic video, and today we have probably the most exciting COD news that I probably have ever seen. I'm so happy about this news, and I know a lot of people were on Twitter. So before I actually get into the nitty-gritty details, what I kind of wanted to say was kind of like last video. If this video could get about 10 to 15 likes like last time, that would really mean the world to me and help out my channel a ton. But with that out of the way, let's get into the exciting COD news. So, if you have not heard the news on Twitter, which I would be surprised that many of you haven't, there was a tweet by Bloomberg, like an actual, like, you know, authentic, you know, leaker, not like one of those, like, you know, anime profile pictures that really just have no validity. An actual reputable source that says, and I quote, I'll paraphrase it because it's kind of long. I don't want to, like, kind of, you know, quote it word for word. Since 2004, yeah, 2004, almost about 20 years. Since 2004, Call of Duty will not be releasing a mainline title in 2023. It will have no mainline title and will be focusing on a free-to-play game in 2023, which will be giving Call of Duty Black Ops another year in development, which is really good. That the Treyarch game is getting another year, which is awesome. And for the first time ever, Modern Warfare is having 2 years of post-launch content. So that just sounds really good. Like, because I'm just gonna say this, and like, COD really does need more time. I mean, you guys have seen, like, recent updates with, like, Vanguard. They pretty much are hit or miss. They're either, like, amazing or just utterly terrible. So, same thing with Cold War. So, pretty much, it's looking like they're actually really trying with, like, you know, like, this decision. Like, and I'm really happy to see this. Like, I'm really happy to see that they're actually, you know, trying. And contrary to belief, I'm actually surprised about this too. You would think that since Microsoft bought Activision, it's like Microsoft, like, hammering down. It's like, hey, Activision, start doing some consumer-friendly things. It's like, no, Activision actually did this. Activision was actually the ones to do this, so that's really cool to know. But they could honestly, you know, like, Call of Duty could, you know, like, kind of drop the ball. They could. Like, I still am a little wary because, let's be honest, like, as much as, like, this news is exciting and everything, which I'm very happy about the news, it's just Call of Duty in recent years hasn't really been everyone's cup of tea, you know? Like, that's what I mean. Not everyone has been, like, a fan of new COD, especially myself and my friends. COD just doesn't have the same feel that it did back, like, you know, when Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2, like, some of the greatest CODs came out, had. Like, they just don't have the same, you know, feel, fun factor and all that. But the reason why, like, I do feel like this is positive news is because, like, for one, it's probably not going to be, like, you know, right away, like, positives, but I feel like with pretty much the new COD and Black Ops, I do feel like it could be positive news. We'll have to wait and see in 2024, which means no zombies until 2024, so kind of go with the bad. I'd rather have a, you know, polished game in 2024 than zombies, so we'll see how it goes. But I just kind of wanted to, you know, kind of talk about, like, you know, why COD just kind of doesn't feel the same a little bit, and kind of like my tinfoil hat theories for, like, COD 2023, because in the same article, it does say that a free-to-play game is going to happen in 2023. So many suggest it's Warzone 2, which I wouldn't be surprised of. I wouldn't be surprised that it's Warzone 2. But I'm really hoping it's something else, and I'll pretty much later in the video kind of get into it. So I'm going to first talk about why Activision made this change, a really positive change. They really made it because Warzone underperformed, and we all know it did. We all know it underperformed. It's the worst selling COD according to UK sales. Now, Activision won't release the sales data for US. They'll never do that because they are very secretive about their COD sales since Ghost, which, let's be honest, was not a very well-received Call of Duty. But yeah, they've been very secretive about it. But UK sales have said that it's the lowest selling COD since pretty much Modern Warfare 1, which is not something that you want. Call of Duty is either the best selling game, and if it isn't, it's a failure according to Activision. So yeah, pretty much failure across the board with that game. And honestly, COD has really been suffering kind of an identity crisis over the years, and pretty much like with multiplayer, like what's good and what's not good, you know? Like, for example, like people really don't know like how much content there's gonna be in the new CODs. Like, it's so like hit or miss on how much like content's gonna be. Like, for example, so like let's look at Black Ops 2 to Cold War. So Black Ops 2 had about 16 maps at launch. Really great start. Cold War had about 8 maps at launch, and 3 of them were from the beta. And that's what I'm trying to say is that like pretty much the content has kind of gone down ever since they've gone to the free DLC model. And I feel like that's where like most of like people kind of, you know, enjoyment kind of falls because they don't have enough content like to give you at first. Like pretty much, for example, like again, Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 2 both launched with 16 to 17 maps. So that's a lot of content right there. And then they gave DLC maps along with that, and it just expanded into about 30 different maps you can play. Fuel is like one of the best like DLC maps from Modern Warfare 2, and it's still remembered to this day. And that's what I mean. Like, pretty much with like Call of Duty, I've just noticed that essentially, you know, content's like abysmal. There's really nothing there. And pretty much like there's like no fun factor there. Like there's no fun factor anymore with like pretty much the content that is there, for example. Like pretty much with Cold War, I'd say about 70% of the content that was like introduced in the free DLC were just remakes. And that's what I mean. They weren't exactly new content. Like, look at how many times Nuketown has been released. Like, look at how many times like Firing Range has been released. Look at how many times Summit and all that has been released. Like, that's what I mean. Like, it's just so many times like they'll have like the maps that everybody will know. Like, and I guarantee you, if you take like a poll, like favorite Modern Warfare maps, I guarantee you most of them will be remakes. Same thing with Cold War. What are the best maps? Oh, Raid, not a shock, Black Ops 2. Oh, Express, Black Ops 2. You see what I'm meaning? Like, most of the content that everybody favors is just from older games. Because back when those games were introduced, it kind of had like, just like the multiplayer algorithm and everything, it was pretty much a mix. You would have maps that are big and pretty much like, you know, spacious, kind of like, oh, I don't know, like Terminal from Modern Warfare 2. And then you would have a map that's very small and compact, but have a lot of different avenues, like Favela. Or in Black Ops 2, you have a map that's very good domination-wise. Or, like, basically you have Express, which is very good for hardpoint. See what I mean? Like, every map in older CODs would essentially make it to where every mode was played well, everything was like, you know, flowed perfectly. The guns and the metas were perfect. Like, for example, Vanguard. There's only 4 guns that are in the meta. It is STG, PPSH, MP40, and maybe a shotgun. That's it. That is it. I remember you would see those compilations from, I forgot what his name was, but he made like a Spaz 12. He made a Spaz 12 montage, and they even named it after him in Infinite Warfare. If you know that, honestly, put in the comments. But yeah, essentially, you would see people essentially making compilations with every gun because every gun was viable in the sandbox. You would see people running like an RPD. You would see people running a Spaz 12, Model 1887s. Like, not to say that there wasn't anything broken in the Golden Age. Like, again, the Model 1887s, like, yeah, they could hit like snipers. But that was only like pretty much like for a short time. But like in I know I'm picking on Vanguard, so I'll go on Cold War, for example. Like, pretty much when the LC-10 was released, the gun would four-shot people, no matter what, and it was an SMG. Like, that's just how insane it is. And pretty much, like, with any DLC weapon, it's always going to be broken, so pretty much the people who get to tier 100, or let's be honest, buy tier 100, they essentially make everyone, like, kind of ruin, or, like, it ruins the overall game experience, you know? It just kind of does. And it's, like, really, really sad, because, like, where COD kind of, like, you know, develops is with its multiplayer, and pretty much, if the multiplayer is skewed into a meta that basically is like that, then, well, yeah, it's not going to go well. I truly do believe that if they just want to, like, make COD better, they just should actually factor in how content's going to be in the game, how, you know, the metas are going to be, and pretty much just adding all the modes that people like. Demolition getting brought back in Cold War was just an example of what I'm talking about. It's like, Demolition was made in Black Ops 2 and literally was not brought back until like 6 months after, which is just ridiculous. Like, honestly, I just think COD really does, like, has really suffered over the years. And, like, the prime example, I just kind of want to say, it's quick, it's kind of personal. Like, me and my brothers and friends, we would always play the newest COD whenever it came out. We would skip school for it. I remember me and my friends would call off school being like, oh, we can't go into school today because, like, we're sick. Like, yeah, sick. We'd be playing the new COD, and so would everybody. I remember Black Ops 2, first period English, no one would be in class because essentially everyone was playing COD. And that's what I mean. Everyone would used to do that. Nowadays, you don't really see that much. I guarantee you. I mean, I know this because in college, when Cold War released, everyone was still in class. So it's like, yeah, that's not good. Overall, I just think COD really needs to just, you know, fix its identity. And this is a good first step of just, you know, making the games, like, actually have more post-launch and, you know, actual good content. So that's pretty good. One thing I will say is, like, I kind of want to talk about this. The 2023 free game. So we don't know what it is. It's not a mainline COD title, but they didn't specify. They did not specify. Like, that's why, like, I'm kind of intrigued by it, because it's free to play. It's free to play. And that's something that COD, like, Warzone's done really well, so that's really nice. But this is something I kind of want to hope. Like, I really want to hope this because, like, just a little fanboy for me is just like, I want this so bad. So here are two things that I would love to see if it was a free-to-play. Number one, Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. The campaign was made in 2020. The assets are there. Like, leakers have already said that the game is already made. Like, just make it, Activision. It is that easy. If you made it for free, or heck, even $20, I would still buy it. And I know so many other people would. Modern Warfare 2 in its heyday was so iconic. I mean, everyone saw the Blaze It memes with, like, like, pretty much 360 no-scope montages. Like, mom, get the camera stuff. Like, that's what I mean. Like, pretty much, you got to see that. And that's why older COD just feels so much better, is because the fun factor was there. Everything was great in older CODs, like the maps, the weapons, the sound effects, pretty much everything across the board. Forced game chat. I loved forced game chat. They should bring that back. Like, those, like compilations of people going absolutely bonkers in search games or pretty much Dom games, non-existent because parties, but that's for another video. Should bring it back. Another thing that they should, or another idea that I have that they could do, have Zombie Chronicles the game, or just Zombies the game. Essentially, you wouldn't really be taking that much, like, you wouldn't be taking that much free liberty. I've tried. You wouldn't even take that much free liberty. Just take every, what's it called? Every Zombies map and just make it into one game. You're not spending any money making it. you're pretty much going to be getting the same thing that you got, but just in a package deal. Essentially, all 40 or 60 zombie maps into one game. That would be so good. That'd be so good. And honestly would be great. I do think it is Warzone 2, and Bloomberg thinks the same thing. But I would really hope that it's honestly not Warzone 2, because let's be honest, Warzone has been carrying COD like for the last 3 years, and it's kind of getting old. Like, we need something else. We really need something else here. One thing that I've kind of realized, and I didn't realize this until actually recording this video, Treyarch really has been like the unfortunate unsung hero of the COD franchise. So hear me out on why I say this. Because essentially, I didn't know this until like pretty much this. Treyarch has essentially been going tooth and nail to fixing every one of the like Activision's mistakes. So like, for example, Cold War was supposed to be a Sledgehammer game, but Treyarch was given the call by Activision's like, hey, can you fix their mistake because they're fighting with Raven? Oh, Modern Warfare is doing kind of bad. Can you release Cold War early? That's what I mean. Or Black Ops 4 early. That's what I mean. It's just like, bro, that's what I'm trying to say, is that Treyarch has essentially been the fan favorite developer, and for good reason. Because, I mean, they're really good at what they do, and plus everything is balanced with them. I just personally feel like, just to kind of summarize everything, like, the reason that older COD was just so much better was because they actually cared back then, and maps were made with care. And content, like DLC or otherwise, was made extremely well. It was, and always will be. And I truly do believe that this news, like, it is very good. I'm very happy about this news, and it's a long time coming. I just hope that, like, the good news keeps going, and it's not like the free DLC thing where essentially they give a good news and then it's just like, well, we pulled the rug under you and it's not good. So I hope that it is. Honestly, I hope that COD definitely brings it back, because I'm such a huge COD fan. As much as, like, pretty much I've, like, you know, said negative things, I'm still a COD fan at heart. Like, all this, you know, constructive criticism comes from a place of love. But if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to follow me on my socials. I will always make sure that everyone will see if my videos go live on Twitch or on YouTube. So with that out of the way, have a lovely day or night wherever you guys are, and see you guys in the next video. All right, bye-bye.